Okay, board number 1. Do you know, it's actually pointing to that one again. So apparently this is A20. And then I wonder if... Nope, not that one. I definitely need that one. Oh look, there's some grass there. Oh look. Paper cut is K28 and K5. I'm going to need longer scissors because I do not trust little scissors. So it looks like we had the wire template, but now we're actually going to use it as well, which is quite handy. So there isn't any waste, which I do like. Right, so there's that. I think I'll cut the little nobules out once I've taken it off the whole board, whole sheet, sorry. Might be better to do it with a knife as well. Right, let's... Okay, so that's that side. Okay, so it says align and glue, so it's not that way. Is it that way? Yeah, okay. I wonder if this is going to be the best type of glue, to be honest. I've got a glue spatula here, so I'll do a... Right, let's see if I can spread it. So I want it definitely at the edges, because otherwise the chances are it will curl off. So I think the edges are slightly more important. except it dries quickly. Which, I mean, we obviously want, but it's already dried on the edges that I thinned it out. Oh, poo. Right, okay. There we go. I like the fact that we recycled. I think that's brilliant. I was slightly over on that side, but it's not under on this side, so I don't know, very slight. Okay, and then it says all the way around that this needs to go on this line about 9mm in. So let's just grab a, let's put the glue lid back on. So 9mm in from the very, very edge. Hang on, I think I might trim down here actually. There you go. Right. Nope, that way. Okay, 9mm in from the very, very edge. Here. Oh. Okay. So we are going, I don't even know where my little line was now. Oh, there it is. There and along the top of the, so I'm lining up with that line up there. There we go. A little rug. Right. So I think I have probably done enough for this one. So let me show you everything that's dried. Got the little bench, the little plant pot, the little chest of drawers, a little table, a little wire thing, and this bit, little cupboard, which is super cute. So that is what we made today so far, not to mention the painting stuff. Thanks for watching. We will do the rest next time. Bye! Cut any of these little things off so that they're sort of stranded, because they're going to be something I can lose otherwise, and I really don't want to do that. There we go. So this paper is pretty flimsy, but I think because it's going to be sticking to something, it's probably not going to matter. It doesn't have to hold its own, basically. Okay, there's one. It looks very much like I'm just going to be wrapping it around the different pieces of wood. Last piece was this piece just in here. I suspect it's probably better if you cut slightly bigger than if you cut slightly smaller, particularly on this edge. I think I was a little bit snug, and I think it might notice when it comes to sticking it down. So that might be a good tip for you guys. Okay, go bit of rubbish. Okay, so I've got my 4 bits of paper. Can't pick them up. There we go. 3 bits of wood and a little bit of ruggy, whatever it is. Okay, so the first thing to do is wrap and glue as shown. So I'm assuming this big one is going to be the first culprit. I think what I'm going to do is fold on this line just so that I know where to stick up to. And put some, really ought to keep it in the downward position, oughtn't I? Let's put the lid on and see if I can balance it. Right. There we go. I guess you could plausibly use sellotape for this bit, really, couldn't you? I might just trim that bit slightly. There we go. Right. Let's oh, that glue dried a bit. There we go. Yeah, you can see, look, I was just a tiny bit too keen with the cutting on the inside. That's a shame. Right, next piece. I think this is the next widest piece. Okay. Try and do it quick because I didn't put the lid on the glue. Yeah, you can see how ridiculously keen I was there. So, tip, learn from me, okay? It's better to have a little bit more and then you can always trim it when it's on the wood. There we go, I think that's in place. Right, and then complete the 3 pieces in total in the same way. Align 3 step boards in sequence and glue together. Okay, so it looks like probably it doesn't matter so much on the bottom 2 because I'm going to glue these on top. Ooh. Oh, I'm such a muppet, I did it in the wrong place. Gosh, I wonder if I can, I think it's going to make it a little bit shiny. Well, I make these mistakes so you don't have to. Should be my motto, I think. I hope I used the right piece. Do you notice that middle one is just slightly narrower? Well, I definitely took the right ones out, so it was a bit weird. Oh, it looks like the top one is actually meant to overlap it. Oh. Now that is not a very clear image, I'm afraid, guys. Very hard to tell that. I'll wipe that off. I'll show you in a minute and see what you think, but I think that was a really hard instruction to follow. So if you see, what it's done is the top one is actually sticking out slightly. It probably would have been helpful if I'd have remembered which of these different things each one was. Actually, it doesn't tell you anyway. It says A, B, C, but there's no reference to A, B and C here. Oh, I see. Big one, medium one. How bizarre. Okay, well, fair enough. We've done that now. And then this little bit of ruggy goes on the top here. I need the tweezers to pick that up, I think, otherwise my fingers are going to stick to them. Right. I need the line facing up. A bit more in the middle. Well, I don't think it's as beautiful as I would have liked it to be, and like I said, I don't like this little bit here. I might be, if it doesn't get covered up, I might be able to just do a little bit of paint there. I'm thinking, right, let's leave that to do. So, bulletin board next. So we need, my fingers are so gluey. We need A37, A36, A37. So is it in this one? Not that one. Oh, there we go. A36, A37. And then we need 2 paper bits. I'll put these in here. So we're going to need M11 and K14, which isn't any of those. Not any of those. M14, K11. Oh, I think possibly. Right, okay, so that piece, M11, I'm going to get up here carefully and then go that way, I think. I do have a knife, actually. I could use that, couldn't I? Sorry, I nearly cut my charger then. That was a bit silly, wasn't it? Okay, this has laundry written on it. That's rather cute. It does look like we are creating one of those old-fashioned laundry things, actually. So I suspect it goes something like that, and then that goes on the top. And then we need to make the scraper thing. So it's K14. Oh, I found it. It's this one here, K14. I'm going to use the knife for this one. There are lots of tiny little lines to fold on. I'm not sure if my big fingers are going to manage that. But we can but give these things a go. I wonder if I can do it here. So let's see what it says. It says, fold as shown. Don't you just love an instruction that says fold as shown, whereas it doesn't actually quite show you where you need to fold, because the lines are so little. Come on. There we go. Okay, so that looks like one fold. Oh, it's quite hard doing the next fold though. Can't pick it up. I can't pick it up. Alright. Okay. This is so fiddly, guys. I think you're going to see the little creases, which is a shame, really. But my fingers are really struggling to do such tiny little folds. If you've got any good tips for this bit, that would be really helpful in case I had to do this on another kit. Actually, I suppose I could have scored it, couldn't I? I mean, theirs doesn't look particularly even, so hopefully it will just be a little quirky feature. There we go. My folds are substantially more folded at one end than the other. Right, let's spread it out. Okay. So, glue as shown. I think that's their favourite words, don't you reckon? So, glue as shown. Now, I think they've done it on the end, so that was a bit gloopy, wasn't it? Right, okay. off me. Trying to get them on my little fold. Ugh. Sorry, taking a lot of concentration now. Gonna have to use the pointy one. Okay, well that was surprisingly annoying. But doesn't it look cute? Now I'm just going to try and get some of this glue out. Look, it's so sweet. So where I've gone over slightly here, what I can do is when it's dry, I'm going to trim down there and also trim this little bit along here, I think. Right, I shall put that to dry.